What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Planetary HQ, the planetary headquarters for all of your celestial information. You know the squad. D-Bake the Wise right here. Follow me on Instagram, xDBake the Wise. Tyler Magma Sloth and Tate Chilla, Taylor Verser.
Yo.
We are all in the same room. Notice a little bit different. Notice the difference. It's instead of little floating heads on a screen, we are now together in the third dimension. We are now interacting in the planetary matrix. It's exciting, dude. I'm excited. You can tell. It's just so much better in real life, in person.
100%.
I said it every episode we've done so far in person. I think I've said that in the first like 30 seconds because it's just so true. Like seeing your guys' beautiful faces and like almost seeing the geometry that you guys project while you're talking, it helps a lot, you know, and there's no time lag in the entire, internet and stuff. But let me get off my little emotional high horse. We are going to have a little cosmic road trip today. So there is no theme. Yeah. We're just going to see what pops up in our mind and just speak openly and candidly about everything. But before we dive into it, we want to channel the muse. Music. The word music comes from muse, channeling the muse. So we're going to give you a little bit of musica, channel some bars, and I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys have been listening, you guys have been caught on. You guys are now hip to how we're trying to start these things. So yeah, we're trying to start off with some hip hop. So without further ado, DJ, drop that. Let's
get it. Here we go. Planetary HQ in the mix.
Hey.
Yo.
Yeah.
Get ready for some light codes, baby. Y'all ready for this?
Your peony.
Okay, here we go. Speed of light in my mental lane. Third eye lit like a solar flame. More than flesh, I am Nefesh. Elohim image of God in mesh. Galaxy spinning my DNA. Truth coded deep in the stellar ray. From atoms to souls, it's all by design. Fractal mind in a sacred line. Big bang whisper in the back of my head. Dreams from Orion, laying in bed. Time's a loop and space is bending. Fractal mind is always sending. Yeah. We cosmic, philosophy, logic and motion, floating on stardust, stuff in the ocean, asking the most, what does it mean? Quantum dream, are we the real ones on the scene?
Are we? We cosmic, we rise, infinity,
celestial code.
Way behind our eye, let go.
In the heart of the cell where the blueprints lie, RNA builds where the strands unwind, polymerase rides on the transcription track, mRNA rolls with the data it packed, ribosome reads like a drumline beat, tRNA drops with aminos on repeat, they link up slow, folding into form, protein chains building life in a storm, ATP sparking, enzymes start, metabolic rhythm like a cosmic art, microbes hum in the soil below, while stars above keep the cycle in flow. We came from the stars when the moment was gold, life carriers landed where the planets were old, from void into Eden they scattered the flame, and life took root in the cosmic name. Evolution stands from cell to mind, in the cradle of time where the soul aligns. Pheno life breathes where the starlight bends, with forms unknown at the galaxy's ends. Cyanobacteria breathing out light, kicking off change in the primordial night. Cells combine in a sacred spark. Eukaryotes born from the deep and dark. Mitochondria, power in the shell, turning sugar into motion in a cellular spell. The neurons fire, perception awakes. Dreams arise and the old world shakes, but Earth ain't the only place with soul. Old world spinning with a different goal. 6 slim walkers, photosynthesis skin. Breathing methane air while their tales begin. The Urantia word, it reveals the plan, where the infinite father sculpted man, but not just carven through silicone flame. Other flesh writ with a different name. Galaxies hosted in a billion threads, life evolving where the angels tread. Each mind, each form, each rising kind, in a verse in the poem of space-time.
Yeah. Hey, let's go. Yeah. Let's go. Yeah. We out here killing beats for show. Yeah. And if you didn't, now you know. Yeah, I channel the pulse of the supernova, planetary HQ. Yeah, we taking over. Every breath is a burst from the source divine, encoded like runes in a sacred line. I walk through the chaos with my focus in hand. My footprints echo way up in the higher land. Not lost, no. I'm a spark on a guided path. Part soul, part code, part cosmic math. We rise through the stars with the question flame. Conscious thought is a no-name game. Vibration high, we shift and we phase. The light unfolds in mysterious ways. Yeah, we cosmic, not just flesh. My guy, Trosby, baby, Planetary HQ, D-Bake the Wise. Let's get it.
And yo, every code is a sentence from the source on high. Every cell is a whisper from the breath of sky. Think about this, the miracle we see. An acorn sprouts into an ancient tree. Tall oak rising with its roots dug deep from the script in its seed while the cosmos sleeps. DNA, just letters, but they somehow know how to turn dirt and sun into branches that grow. That's the language of life, divine and true. And the same code breathes inside me and you.
Hey.
From the stars we came, and to them we go, on the rhythm of life in a universal flow.
Woo! We out here letting it leak out here. Sorry for that. I don't mean that mental image.
Oh, that's
fun. Go, baby.
You know, like when a horse is in heat and like, you know, just leaking.
I never seen it, but
I seen it. I seen it with my own eyes.
It's real.
Yeah. Is it real? That's hilarious. Let's see what we got here. What we got here?
Is a UFO for real, y'all?
Just so you guys understand what we're talking about.
It's a UFO for
so we
real.
ain't got no books to crack or nothing. Good shit, guys. Good,
No.
Good.
yeah.
Hell
Good
yeah.
cipher. Dig the energy. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. We have fun doing it. It just gets the juices flowing. You know, it gets the chemicals popping. Excuse me.
It's exhilarating trying to keep up when you're on the spot, trying to keep up with the flow. But it really does get your creative juices flowing.
Oh yeah, dude. I feel the chemicals in my vein. Hey, Drew's texting us right now. That's hilarious.
Drew.
Drew Money.
What's up, Drew?
What's going on? Tell him to get in here.
That'll be a whole. I don't know if it'll work. We're not on Discord.
We're not on Discord. Just take a trip over here. Take the TR3B.
Yeah, take that new TR3B.
That video that we dropped this morning. I don't know if it's real or not, but it's cool looking.
Yeah,
it's quite compelling.
I want to believe. I mean, like, obviously, the first thought that comes to our minds, it could be CG. You even mentioned it could have been like a flight simulator, and they added some effects to it, which is very reasonable. But
like DCS flight sim, that they've gotten me so many times before.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is so sick. And then they just add like a VCR overlay on it, and it kind of looks creepy.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I reposted it because I thought it was cool looking. And you know me, I am a huge believer. Well, I guess you would say a fanboy of the TR3B. So
yeah,
I saw that shit and my butthole puckered up, and I'm like, it's happening, guys.
I think that's a good portion of the, like, a majority of the sightings you see around Area 51 and those Air Force bases. People at night will see lights in the sky. They'll see what looks like UFOs. It's probably TR3Bs.
Yeah.
Reverse engineered technology. But that video, what did stand out to me about it, it does kind of look like a camera mounted under a jet that's trying to keep up with the TR3B. That's why you barely see it in the shot. It's just trying to stay focused on it. It's flying around. You see it doing barrel rolls. You can see the pitch yaw roll, all the statistics changing on the screen. So, I mean, it looks accurate.
Yeah, and like, if it's real, how they get it? Is this a traditional fighter plane that's trying to follow the TR-3B and trying to, like, are they practicing to see how a TR-3B can outmaneuver a conventional aircraft?
It is probably practice.
Or is the camera actually mounted on another TR-3B? Like,
that's a good question.
Because if we would assume a TR-3B would just destroy any of the conventional aircrafts that we know. It would have to throttle all the way down just for a conventional aircraft to keep up with it. So maybe it's just like, but they have to practice those scenarios. Like, if we were in that combat scenario, how would we be able to outmaneuver a conventional aircraft? I'm not saying it's a real video. I'm not saying that, guys. I think it's a cool video.
Well,
we're just going through it.
Here's a speculative question. The TR-3B.
Can we show it to? No, we can't.
Can we pull up the clip?
It would take me a second. If you guys want to talk for a bit about it, I can try.
Yeah. Here's a speculative question. If the TR-3B is a reverse engineered craft using possibly alien technology, is it just the anti-gravity portion that they unlocked with the TR-3B? Or is it actually doing the whole time warp thing that purportedly flying saucers are able to do, where they create kind of this bubble around them outside of time and space? That's how they appear to zip around, but the occupants inside aren't turned into jelly because,
how does that work?
They're in this little time bubble outside.
Ashton Forbes.
Yeah, right. Ashton 4 orbs. And that would explain, why you see the refraction of light around UFOs, because it is this kind of field, this bubble that's being generated. And I wonder if the TR-3B has that, or if it is just anti-gravity. Because if it is generating that bubble, it could fly to other worlds and back easily.
So I think I might got it.
Okay, yeah.
Oh shit! I can't minimize it. Huh?
No, you got to keep it up.
So here's the video, guys. Sorry about the loudness. You guys will figure it out on your guys' end. So this is the video.
This is lit.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Woo! Look at that thing. That thing's moving. What's it giving off? Flares right there? You saw that?
Did it?
Yeah. We'll rewatch it in the beginning. And look at something else is chasing it if you notice it. Like the TR3C, there's something else chasing it.
What is all these lights? Are they like tracer rounds? Are they shooting at it or something?
Light. Well, what you're seeing is partly the HUD is like moving,
Yep.
like the lines, the graph lines.
I see the graph lines, but it does
You
look
seen something
like
else?
So watch. You'll see another
Oh.
craft. See following it right there? Another craft? So watch. See, look at there's flares that come off right there.
that's what I was wondering. Are they
Watch. You see it
flares?
more right here. Oh, fuck. Not right there. Where is it?
It is a little disorienting.
Right there. See all those flares coming off?
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah, I think I was trying to figure it out if we're seeing like a reflection of something. Oh, I thought it was like the sun like glaring on the lens.
Okay. That could be
I
it.
thought some of those were.
Okay. That right there looked like a sun flare. You're right.
Because is the jet doing a barrel roll that's following it?
kinda
Yeah, it
looks
looks like
like
the
it.
jet's also trying to mimic it. They're like dogfighting. They're simulating a dogfight.
Okay.
And you know when you dogfight, you guys are just trying to fucking
The twirl.
follow each other.
Yeah.
He's trying to evade while he's trying to
Got it. Oh,
pursue.
right.
I think that's an accurate description because they have the technology, but you don't see TR3Bs in combat. They don't actually utilize this. It's like their secret weapon. So they would probably be testing how would it perform in action when in pursuit or something like that. So yeah, they probably run simulations like this all the time out in the desert,
Yeah.
over the
24/7.
ocean.
Those black budget programs, they have nothing better to do. They have to test every single aspect of every capability constantly. I'm not saying it's a real video, but it's a good, even if it's a fake CGI video, it's a good mental exercise, you know?
Yeah.
It's pretty compelling though. I don't know about you guys. I mean, I could watch it one more time for sure.
Yeah, I was telling Magma like I'm hoping that maybe this got leaked or released just based on the whole trend of disclosure. Like, okay, let's say some source in the government, some group is trying to ramp up disclosure for whatever reason.
Mhm.
And part of the process is eventually revealing that we do have some advanced, technologies
Yes.
that may have been reverse engineered, a long time ago.
100%.
And so it was kind of, I don't know, there was a moment where they unveiled the stealth bomber officially, be like, yes, we have this is what it does, here's the little overview. Like, I imagine, they're like 50 years into the TR3B, they eventually tell us, and maybe that's part of the disclosure kind of behind the scenes that they're trying to admit. And maybe this is also about reconciling with Congress, like, because Congress needs to get a little bit in, without being all the way in. There needs to
They
be
need
some
to
sort
be
of
running
comms
the
going on.
program, dude.
Right.
Yeah, the Congress is the people. And last time I checked, the people run the.
And they're like, oh, we'll tell them about the TR3B, but not the secret space.
Oh,
program.
they're teasing us. Yeah, this
Yeah.
is old. This is old technology.
news.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
yeah.
they perfected there's TR3B in like 1970s and 80s, like already perfect. And I think according to, who is it? Townsend Brown,
Yeah.
T. Townsend Brown. I think someone affiliated with him. There's documents that verify that we perfected anti-gravity in the summer of 1954 or 1956.
Wow. A long time ago.
Yeah. So that's when we perfected anti-grav. So
Okay.
It's been a while.
so think about it. If people were seeing TR3Bs in 1980, that's almost 100-year technology already.
Yeah, it's insane. It's theorized that like the whole anti-gravity research has been like basically held back, like intentionally held back, and even like you could say disinformation against it or silencing of people who really start developing. Or I guess you could get them with NDAs, be like, look, we see you're developing this stuff. This is super top secret, and if you want to join our program, you can.
Or go to jail forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's hilarious.
very
Yeah.
interesting topic.
And then, of course, X-Files. It's like episode
First
1,
episode.
past the pilot. Yeah, they show the TR3B. The whole episode is about it. And I had heard it. I thought it was in the Dan Burch interview. Taylor, you actually mentioned the Diana Pasholka interview, which that might have been where I heard this. But I feel like I've heard this from a few different sources. But like, it seems like the writers for the X-Files had some CIA insiders feeding them information. So it's kind of like a softcore disclosure in a goofy, wacky sci-fi show that's got like the Jersey Devil and space ghosts and stuff like that. And so when you hear about these things like flying saucers, you think, oh, well, that's like X-Files kind of stuff, you know, that's sci-fi fantasy.
Exactly. And let's go down deep in that rabbit hole. Anderson Cooper, you know, he was a CIA intern.
Okay.
Like Project Mockingbird and Project Monarch. It's where the CIA would infiltrate Hollywood production companies and news media broadcasting agencies, implant people as if they were regular like journalists or consultants, and get them, you know, embedded in those organizations.
That's a good point.
And they would influence scripts, they would influence stories and narratives.
Something they already do. You're right.
And
so it's not out of the question.
So supposedly X-Files, you can like trace a guy who was in there who had CIA, who was ex-CIA. And if you really do your study, the majority of the first season is taken directly from Project Blue Book.
Oh, that's crazy.
Interesting.
So it's weird connections right there.
And in the X-Files, there's a character that Agent Mulder every now and then will he'll get a phone call and like Scully will pick it up and there's no response, and then that's like his cue to shoo Scully out of the room, and then he meets up discreetly with this G-Man guy, and that's actually in the video game series Half-Life, the G-Man, direct inspiration from the G-Man in the X-Files. But this guy, he's this character who secretly meets up with him and slips him information like softcore disclosure. So even in the show, they have a character that's doing that. And then in real life, there might be an actual character doing that for the writers of the X-Files.
Sorry, guys. I don't mean to show a bunch of ads, but we got to get through this ad.
You muted the audio, though, right?
Yeah, it's muted.
Yeah, we're about to show another TR3B video that's pretty popular.
No, actually, we're paid by Drano. Yeah. We're giving them free ad space right now. No, that's another classic TR3B video that I hold dearly. Look at this. Let's make a big boy.
I think I found the source channel for this video. I think it's called like XXX Donuts. And unfortunately,
he has a lot of CGI videos on it.
Yeah, I could. There's definitely, and he says that all the videos are copyrighted, which is like, well, you can't copyright it unless you're the producer. So that is the source of this video. That channel, they have like 100 UFO. I was like, whoa, this is the craziest UFO channel. And then I kind of was like, okay, yeah, it seems like they made these videos.
How else are you going to disclose classified footage?
Slip it in there with a bunch of fake videos.
Oh, I see.
Call it fake. Call it CGI.
I have seen a channel like that on YouTube that had.
Look at that, dude. That's compelling.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. Or maybe the channel, maybe it wasn't like a government op per se, but they did have some real ass UFO videos, and they were like, let's also make some fake ones because we want to get the real. So in that way, it's still the community doing it. It's not like a psyop.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's almost like a psychic who pretends to be a magician.
Okay.
They got real powers, but they play the ad. They kind of masquerade.
Like
they let people believe, oh, I'm just a magician. JJ Attack. Let's go.
Well, I will say I've seen at least one channel before that had like strange things in the sky, and they were always like organic looking strange craft that were morphing, like extra dimensional. And it was all CGI stuff. And although they looked convincing, they were able to make the camera shake and all that. You could still tell it was CG. It's something about like you look at it, you instantly know. Whereas something like that, it's a little unclear. It's like that might be real. Oh, this is the most convincing one I've ever seen.
What, the video I just put up?
It's a UFO, y'all.
Another TR3B video.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's a UFO for real, y'all.
So
that is pretty interesting.
Texas. This is filmed in Texas. There's so many of these. This is probably the most filmed UFO out there.
Just because it's ours.
It is very interesting that there's so many videos of these, and a lot of them do look like real. Like, oh yeah, this is a real like video.
Yeah.
And then there's another one in Texas where it shoots out that red laser beam and starts scanning the ground, dude. That's crazy,
wild.
dude. But yeah, so that's our little TR3B kick. I mean,
and remember, the stealth bomber was like the same thing. Like people did not think it existed. Like it was a conspiracy. But like we're not dumb. Like people see the thing. They get footage. There's personal accounts. And then eventually they make the big reveal. So question is, 2025, 2026, 2027, are we gonna get the TR3B reveal?
Ooh,
is
that
this a
would-
premonition?
Dude,
of
I would
video?
I would take that. I will
Bro,
take
I
a
would
TR3B reveal for sure. That
Over
would change.
nothing?
Oh yeah, that would change
Over,
the face of Earth,
You would
dude.
literally
An
like,
expectation not coming true. That
it's
that
up
would
to
be
these
great.
SAP programs if they just tell us a little.
It would make me want to go so hard that we get enough money to buy our own TR3B. You know, my rap lyrics pull up in a TR3B.
Yeah, Lockheed starts
you know?
selling them for a couple
The
billion.
consumer fucking grade.
Oh, the consumer grade.
God,
Interesting.
come on now.
You
That's
can't go out.
hilarious.
You can't go out of the atmosphere, but
Can't have
they'll still
nukes.
let you.
Yeah, no nukes,
No
no.
weaponization of systems,
Yeah,
but
you can't go out of the
you
atmosphere.
can cruise.
You can cruise.
in them.
It'd be fun.
Then pull up to the club in the TR3B.
Ooh, you just
You'd have to
drop
land on
in
the roof.
like anti-grav boots floating down.
Oh my god, these guys are sick. Who's that? That's Planetary HQ. Come on, dog.
Yo.
But that's funny you say that. So the B2 and the F-117 Nighthawk. And we just released another B2 Spirit, the newer version.
Mhm.
There's a crazy story behind it. Everybody talks about it. Jesse Michaels went so deep, and so did UAP Gerb. Shout out to Jesse and UAP Gerb. The T. Townsend Brown, his work got incorporated into the B2 bomber, and colloquially, there's a rumor that says B2 actually stands for the Byfield-Brown effect,
Mhm.
because you can negate, I guess, gravity via electrostatic
Yeah,
charge.
It
Like,
electrifies like the wings and ionizes the air or
Huh?
something.
really?
Oh, thank you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
Probably we're just doing
It's a
crosstalk.
little
Yeah.
bit better than the other version,
Yeah,
but
we're
yeah,
just talking a lot.
we're working with a new setup here, everyone. But yeah,
A little
I'll-
makeshift.
I'll examine the comments here, see if anyone's complaining. But yeah, continue.
But yeah, so everybody's talking about the T. Townsend Brown effect, the Byfield Brown effect, where you charge the leading edge of the wing with a positive charge, and you charge the trailing edge of the wing with a negative charge, and then it creates an electrostatic wave that the plane actually rides. It like cancels out a little bit of inertia and gravity.
It's almost like an electric vacuum pool or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. Yeah.
It's
You're-
interesting.
Yeah, you're creating like an ionization bubble that you're
Like
floating.
ion
on.
wind or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and he actually, Townsend Brown was also the one who created those ionic wind devices. He's
Okay,
he's the
I've seen
patent
those.
holder for the ionic breeze.
Oh,
those fans
those are
that
tight.
just
Yeah.
blow air.
Oh, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about. Okay.
yeah, with the fans with no rotating fans,
Oh.
and it's just like a disc.
It's like Dyson or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the patent holder for that.
Um,
So that's what he's famous for. Supposedly, these programs like the B2 and the F-117 are cover programs for the TR3B. Does that make sense? So there's two different purposes they serve. They can, if people see a TR3B, they can be like, no, it's just a B2 or F-117 that you saw.
yeah.
That's good cover. And B is, I guess, they use these programs as funnels, as facades to funnel money into black budget programs. Does that make sense? So they create a B2 and they say we need $1 trillion for it, but they'll only use 1/10 of that budget to actually create the B2, and then use that money to create black budget programs.
You think about like Lockheed and Skunk Works, they already have the stealth bomber, so why do they need to keep funding research on the stealth bomber if they already have it? You know, what
Exactly,
more can
yeah.
you do to it?
Yep.
So it makes sense. They're probably funneling a lot of that money into secret access programs.
UAP Gerb did a great video about it. He said that in the 70s they did that with SDI, or the Star Wars Initiative. Do you remember that? Star Wars with Reagan?
Yeah, it was
putting lasers
Reagan
in
had a
space?
plan to have like space lasers, basically. It was
Exactly.
satellites mounted
Yeah.
with lasers as a defense, I think for asteroids or something
Yeah,
like
to
that.
take out asteroids and to take out Soviet nuclear missiles from space, just in case they shoot a nuke, we can shoot it out with the lasers from space.
Okay.
Supposedly he got put on trial for that.
Really?
And got investigated for this SDI program because a
I
lot
did
of
not
money
know
was
that.
going missing.
Of course it was.
And the main contractor for the SDI, I want to say it was not Lockheed Martin, one of those, maybe Raytheon. I think it was Raytheon. Raytheon. Shit, I know. If anybody's watching this and is really into the documents, like, oh, it wasn't Raytheon, it was EG&G, or it was fucking the Rand Corp. But one of those spooky corporations.
Yeah.
That he got put on trial, and it was the first time in a budget where like they were pressing him so much that he actually put in the budget, I think it was, I want to say TR3B Aurora, and it was like for billions of dollars, and he got questioned about it, and like he got a lot of, and like, they made it disappear. And you can look this up. It might have been like something like that, or the Aurora Black Manta program, which is the TR3B Manta or the TR3B Aurora. It was the first time it was actually put because of pressure. And then they canceled the SDI project because they said, where are all the funds disappearing? Similar to Donald Rumsfeld with all his money disappearing before the Twin Towers in 9/11, the 2.1
Yeah, I've heard
billion.
about that. That's insane.
Same thing. UAP GERB talks about this. The F-35 Lightning, the Joint Strike Fighter we just created, the newest top-of-the-line fighter jet, the 6th generation or 5th generation aircraft. It took us 10 years to develop that. It was getting developed when I was like young. I think it took 20 years to develop it. When I was in like high school, they started it. And they kept trying to cancel it because they said, you guys are spending billions of dollars and you guys aren't hitting your deadlines. And UAP GERB followed the money, and they figured out that this also was a front to funnel money into the Black Budget program. So they keep doing this. They keep like creating like a public facing project. They overprice it, and then they funnel the money into.
And as long as you can keep up the illusion of national security, we're always at a threat with some other nation.
You keep getting that money funneled in.
It's perfect for investors. You just keep your investors in fear. The Russians are going to attack any day now. Iran's going to attack. China's going to attack. China's got an edge on us.
Yep.
It's a perfect front. Just keep your investors in complete terror over national security.
Yeah, and keep that money going. Keep that money popping. But yeah, we lost T'Challa to the next dimension. I don't know where he went. I think he probably went to the bathroom real quick. But yeah, it's kind of crazy how they use all these programs. So I guess, I mean, just if you're thinking strategically from their point of view and you want to keep these anti-grav vehicles secret, that's what you would do. You'd create those other secret programs that people think they're really looking at the real deal when it's just the front. Those are still amazing crafts. They're still incorporating some stealth and that bifield Brown effect and the wing technology. So there is some weird top secret, spooky, almost space technology that's incorporated into these crafts. And it's just like, it seems obvious. It seems obvious. They think they're being slick, but it seems obvious.
All right, I got to ask you, what are your thoughts on the Epstein blackmail operation in relation to UFOs?
So, did you listen to our other live stream?
I didn't listen to the most recent one.
I laid it on T'Challa for the first time.
Okay.
Live. It was tight, dude. Here, he's in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Oh, man, let me get rid of that pen.
Yeah.
If you're hearing this for the first time, I have reason to believe that, and this is the next episode I'm working on too, so keep it locked. Hit that subscribe button if you already haven't hit it, because we're coming out with some flame right now. Epstein was actually an agent for the anti-grav programs.
Yeah, it's interesting. It sounds like the wackiest thing ever, but when you look at it, Ghislaine Maxwell's father.
Shout out to Candace Owens.
Yeah, right. Candace just dropped it hard. She always looks into the genealogy.
Connecticut 860, baby.
Yeah, she looks into the genealogy and starts figuring stuff out about people's family, and found out like Epstein was pulled up through what she refers to as the Midas touch, or the Midas hand, the Midas touch, where someone's pulled up through the ranks. He's like a creepy high school teacher, and then
no credentials.
No credentials, ends up
to be he was a math teacher, but he had no math credentials.
He's at Harvard, of course,
in a prestigious school, and the guy who got him on was a CIA operative.
Yeah, and then it was actually Ghislaine Maxwell's father. I'm blanking on his name. I think it was Robert Maxwell.
That's the name he went public with.
You're right, because
identities.
As Candace was looking into it, he goes by multiple names, and a lot of the creepy elite she looks into follow the same pattern. They're almost like shape-shifting.
Yeah, they're identity hustlers. And this
identity
is what the Nazis
hustlers,
and the Vatican got in trouble for in World War II. Well, the Vatican was giving Nazis new identities and new passports.
Interesting to like kind of almost in a way absolve them of their crimes, because their crimes are untraceable.
You're like the gray man.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. You're not
really
like a
creepy.
Person. You can just be whoever you want, with whatever cover story, with whatever identity. You're not in the system. You're just like what kind of human are you? You're like a human above the system.
And that's very common practice for CIA agents who spend a lot of their time overseas in other countries spying on other intelligence agencies, and they go by John Brown or something like that.
And Robert Maxwell.
He worked
for Mossad.
He did.
It's known. It's Ghislaine's dad. Epstein's accomplice. Actually, Epstein was under Ghislaine. Ghislaine was his boss. Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine's dad, when he died, the heads of all the departments in their Department of Defense for Israel
Showed up to his
showed up
funeral.
to his funeral. He was buried on the Mount of Olives,
Yeah,
the most
right.
holy place in Israel where
Come
Jesus
on.
was. And the prime minister, the president of Israel, gave his eulogy, personally spoke, and said that no
Yep.
one has done more for Israel than this man.
Yeah, and so he, as this guy Robert Maxwell worked his way up the ranks. He started out, I think, in the press or newspaper publications or something. Somehow got the ability to acquire different publications and became a publisher. So he became this, I think, by the time of his death, because Ghislaine Maxwell, I think, was the 9th kid, and he had her when he was probably really old. But he ended up, like, towards the end of his life, running like MTV and all these different media programs and stuff.
Like big media companies.
But the thing
and
was,
publishing companies, magazines, newspapers.
He supposedly, if I can articulate it from memory, he was basically distributing secret, like, Nazi science. It was like German science publications that were banned, and he
worked for MI6, the British CIA.
Okay.
And for some reason, the MI6 created a shell publishing, or actually they bought a publishing company, and then they accepted a deal from a Nazi publishing company to keep publishing Nazi ideology via UK publishing companies. That's kind of weird, dude.
We all know the weird Nazi connection with UFOs. They were obsessed with many wild ideas while they were tripping on meth, but UFOs was one of them. The Nazis were obsessed with flying saucers.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, okay, so he got money from MI6 to buy a company, buy a huge publishing company. Where was it? I think it was in the UK. And when he bought this publishing company, he was given money by Mossad. The Israeli gave him a shitload of money. He bought a UK publishing company. And then when he bought the publishing company had a lot of pension funds. So when people retire, they pay them out for the rest of their life. Israel figured out we can get free money by stealing pension funds if we buy companies. So they gave him money to buy the publishing company. They literally, that day he bought it, they liquidated the entire fucking pension fund, used it to buy Israeli assets in Israel. They took the publishing company over. And then for some reason, they linked up with the ex-Nazi publishing company, was banned in the UK. And they started publishing his books under a different name.
Interesting.
That's fucking crazy, right?
And so now connecting this with what we know about compromised scientists going off to Epstein Island, they're partying, end up with some underage woman. And I mean, they're blackmailed for life. I own you when I got that kind of blackmail on you. But it was always scientists. And you don't hear this angle enough, but I mean, obviously, Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell were in the social circles of all the high up elites, all the wealthy socialites, the billionaires, and all that, politicians and stuff. But it was a lot of scientists that were compromised. And
a lot. Nobel Peace Prize winner for writing a Holocaust testimony.
That guy.
He got figured out that it was false, and
he was
Robert
falsifying
Maxwell's
it. Yeah.
cousin.
And not to say that
got him in, and he gained a fake identity of a Holocaust victim who died, and he wrote a book publishing the horror of Jewish hate and anti-Semitism. And
how messed up is that?
And everybody was like, "Oh my God, he won the Nobel Peace Prize for like revealing the
for living a
tortures
lie
of how anti-Semitism." And then they figured out that he was faking it. He obtained a fake identity, and it's Robert Maxwell, Ghislaine's dad's fucking cousin.
Yeah, and so not to say...
So he's publishing these weird stories. It's fucking crazy.
I gotta say, this is not to say the Holocaust didn't happen. It's to say that someone who actually lived through the Holocaust had their identity stolen, and this was pointed out by another Jewish survivor late in his age, obviously.
The guy whose name he took, the fake identity, there's still a guy alive from the Holocaust who roomed with the fool.
He knew that guy who saved his life, and he's like,
fucking him. What the
You're not him, yeah.
And now it's verified on all the news outlets that it's fake. This guy took the fake identity.
I will say the entire Epstein case is probably like best evidence for the Illuminati, the cabal.
Right.
It's like literally, how do you control like independent, powerful people, science people? Well, you get him in the honeypot.
Get him in the honeypot.
And you also, it's partly an enticement, I imagine. It's like that you sort of offer them, like, look, powerful people, they got the money, they got the access, and then the Illuminati, the cabal, the powerful elite, they make the offer. But they do it through a specific channel that gives them a little bit of like plausible deniability. You know, Epstein was this guy in this case.
The fall guy.
And then there's all this weird stuff, you know, of him being connected to intelligence, where it's like maybe the connection, the official mandate was not to like run this program, but the under key, you know, main power thing was that. But on paper, maybe Epstein's running a different op. And he's still a part of some kind of program.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like what we're seeing, what we're accusing him of, you're saying that's like a side. That's not the main operation.
It's almost like, you know, they give him the job and they're like, on paper you'll be doing this, but what you're actually going to do, we're going to give you this island, and we're going to be
100%. Yeah, you're going to be the second in command with Victoria's Secret, and you're going to get all those models to these islands, because you know he had the key to Victoria's Secret.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. That was he ran his model agency out of Victoria's Secret. The owner, the creator of Victoria's Secret, literally you can sign over power of attorney.
Okay.
He signed over power of attorney for Victoria's Secret to Epstein. So that means Epstein could function as Victoria's Secret as an entity on planet Earth.
That's insane. Imagine the money coming into Victoria's Secret that would like make them.
He had the Victoria's Secret card.
Oh, it's insane.
He wanted.
That
he had the
cheap Chinese labor.
That's like the mainstream, you know, sexy brand
in
all the malls.
And all the girls want to be the Victoria's Secret models. You know,
and it's literally like a funnel for this crazy op that is literally run by like What if that's not the Illuminati? What is?
Exactly
is?
right. Exactly. And he also had the keys to SpaceX. Fucking weird.
What's that connection? SpaceX. What do you mean he has the keys?
So Elon Musk was second in command. He was like vice president for SpaceX.
Sure.
And he made Jeffrey Epstein the senior scientific advisor of all of SpaceX.
Okay.
So he had the key. He could walk. We could walk through SpaceX untouched, which is fucking weird.
I didn't know about that. That's not talked about.
Not at all. Then Lawrence Krauss, the mainstream scientist who's been on like, you know, all these crazy, I don't want to say The View, but like shows like The View. Sure. He's like a popular culture guy. He was the one who was setting up the scientific symposiums for Epstein in the Bahamas. He invited Stephen Hawking, we know he was on the island. He invited all these other scientists. The list is going on, and I'm not going to name drop them all because I got a fucking video coming soon about it. And they would all come in. Like I told him, we were talking about this a couple days ago. Sorry for lack of better words. No, I'm not going to use that word. It's
hard when you don't have the papers in front of you to read off.
I just don't want to call anybody names. You know, people who are scientifically inclined and less socially inclined, not nerds.
Nerds.
You know, nerds. They love the science and they maybe shun off social parties and connections. Sure. They grow up, but they're really good at anti-grav. You invite them to these scientific symposiums. Oh, wow, I'm working on DOD Pentagon anti-grav projects. They're feeling great. Then all of a sudden come in hot chicks
that actually show an interest in them,
and they're not, and they're kind of just in the room, kind of, you know, shooting eyes, shooting daggers, and the guy's like, oh my god. Then all of a sudden she sits down at the table.
Yeah.
Oh, he knows Epstein. Oh, Epstein invited me to this. Oh yeah, this is my. Oh yeah, we're cool. Want to sit down and have a drink? Now they're like, oh man, I'm the shit. You know. Night happens. The symposium's over. You want to go get some more food and drinks?
And low key in the background, the girls are sort of commissioned there to be.
Your job is to get him, that scientist.
Make sure the scientists don't have to work. Like you hang out with them and you spend the night with them.
Exactly. And then on accident, maybe 1, 2, or 3 times, there's a 16-year-old in there. Or a 17-year-old and they're dolled up and you can't tell.
Maybe plenty of the time. We won't get into the nitty-gritty details, but Ghislaine Maxwell did have a lot of underage women coming under her care, and she would teach them sexual lessons.
She's on paper
using toys and all this stuff.
Like video testimony,
documentation going all the way back about it.
She would invite all these little girls over to their mansion with Epstein, and they'd put dildos on the tables. And then they'd invite them all to sit down, and then they'd be like, "Ooh," and it was a joke, and they'd all laugh about it.
It's like a sex ed class. Sure.
It is, yeah. So it's what's wild to me is that a lot of what these people were saying throughout the late 80s and the 90s, like Bill Cooper, Fritz Springmeier, Kathy O'Brien, talking about
actresses
Project Monarch, where it's like secret sex slaves, and you're like, this is so wild, it's got to be fake. It can't be true.
Walking through the grocery store, when you see those crazy tabloids, remember they used to have those?
I do.
They would always be like, actress speaks out. When she was young, she was raped by the Hollywood elite. And everybody would be like, She's off her med. She's crazy.
Yeah, it's like right next to the article about that boy emerges from his cave, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
So it's obviously fake,
Yeah.
and then this comes out and it's undeniable, and that's why the world is cracking down on it. Everyone wants to know. Now the UFO connection, to bring it back to that.
Well, okay. Yeah. Let's hit the planetary UFO connection. Then I want to hit some interstellar.
All right. So Jesse Michaels had a great interview with the Project Unity guy and
Shout
Kurt
out to
Metzger.
Jay, shout out to Kurt. Kurt, get on the podcast, dog. Send you a message. You ain't replied yet.
I freaking love Kurt Metzger. Just his beautiful, eloquent schizophrenia that he spurts out as he's talking about this stuff. But
yeah, I want to get you on the podcast, dog.
They go deep into talking about how Epstein had a very strong interest in the cashmere effect. He was deeply interested in
like fine cloth. He likes nice shirts.
A physics effect. A physics cashmere effect.
Casimir.
Let's see. I can look it up to get a better definition here, but basically
it's like when you get two charged plates, one positive, one negative, one will follow the other. I think
The cat girl effect. I like it.
Damn,
I'm into that.
I heard you was into that.
The cashmere effect. Okay, yeah, I got it here.
You keep saying cashmere. That's what I'm fucking with you. Cashmere, Casimir.
You're right, Casimir. I've been saying it wrong.
Cashmere, it's a sweater type of like.
I'm just an uneducated heathen. The Casimir effect is a physical force predicted by quantum field theory that arises from vacuum fluctuations of the electromagnetic field. Essentially, it describes the small attractive force between two uncharged, closely spaced conducting plates due to the difference in 0-point energy between the space inside and outside the plates.
Yeah. So if you like charge one plate positive, one plate negative, one plate will just follow the other in space. It's like free propulsion. Those start chasing each other.
Space, not in like an atmosphere, but if it's like in a vacuum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that's really interesting.
Yeah, and
so
that means free propulsion. There is free energy in a vacuum.
So we know Epstein was into all kinds of weird science. He had his ranch, what was it called? The Zorro Ranch in New Mexico. Supposedly genetic experiments were going on over there. There was one whistleblower that came out. She said that she had her eggs taken.
Okay, yeah, let's get into the eugenics part in a second.
Okay,
I do want to wrap up the how to blackmail scientists. You know,
yeah, because there's a lot to cover there.
They're sexually repressed. You bring them in, and now you want to work on these anti-grav, and they're feeling great. The ladies are around. You know, okay, we have actually, bro. I like your work, man. You want to have some drinks after the symposium? They're like, oh wow, oh fuck yeah, this is awesome. I actually have some friends who are working on some secret stuff, some anti-grav secret stuff, you know, and we'd be interested in having a conversation with you. He's stoked now. Okay, cool. Yeah, you cool. Next couple weeks you're free. Yeah, okay. Now we're all gonna go out and get some steaks and kick it. Okay. He's all feeling on top of the world. Goes to sit down. Now the hot girl he had his eye on at the table is there. They're not at the symposium. Maybe they got some hotel rooms, some video cameras, you know. They get him to hook up with a 16-year-old, and then they have it on camera, and they go, okay, you're working on the anti-grav program, and now we got video of you fucking a 15-year-old. You're not going to say anything, right? All right, cool. Silence. And trust me, we'll make your career beautiful, luminous. You're going to be Ferraris, cars, steak, shrimp, everything.
But we
it's
own
almost
you.
the ultimate hold, though. Like, because I'm picturing this. Okay, say they bring somebody into the anti-grav program.
Yep.
Technically, can the person leave?
No,
they don't want.
That's a
they
good
don't want
point.
him to leave.
They
for sure don't want him to leave. But
exactly.
But as a U.S. citizen, they kind of could leave and get another job.
Yeah.
But to the government, it's too sensitive to let them leave.
Yes.
And so if you can get them with the blackmail and get it, you're sold. You're gonna keep them in the program forever.
Amen.
And even if they do, stop working for you, they're never gonna turn on you because you got the ultimate on them.
They got family, they got wife and kids, their careers at stake.
All compromised.
And this didn't just start in America. The mafia has been doing this for a long time. In Italy, Nero, all these people would do this. They'd set up like people to witness other people doing fucked up shit. This is an ancient way of doing it.
Actually, yeah, because the Persians were doing this stuff in ancient times.
The Prussians, the Russians.
But that's a little different. That's not that's not the same as blackmail because you know other people are watching you. But it's like we all do this thing together so that we know we're all in. Is that what you're saying? Is that what they used to
It's
do?
like it's just like the ancient form of it. Like, hey, you did this, and I had 3 of my maids watching you, and you didn't know.
Okay. Oh, so
And
it
it's-
was still a
it's-
spy thing.
Yeah, it's still a spy
Got
thing.
it,
It's
got
just been happening, like blackmailing politicians to keep them quiet, or blackmailing scientists to keep them work for you. It's not a new tactic.
And it's different from just telling a lie about someone because their heart rate's going to go up when you mention it and reveal their secret. So they're actually connected to the event. It's not just
Oh yeah,
some
right.
government
they're not
telling a
lying.
lie about you. It's something you actually did that you're actually guilty of.
Yes.
And then they saw it happen.
You got Operation Midnight Climax. You know, all these
Yes, MK
Yeah, yeah,
Ultra. They had these one-way mirrors and
dose Johns and watch them hook up with prostitutes. You know, it's fucking crazy.
it's insane.
Martin Luther King. You know, supposedly he was the MLK files came out, and all of Reddit's talking about how he was killed by the 111th Military Intelligence Group with snipers from the 20th Special Forces Group, which
Damn.
is our
Interesting.
friends. The Green Berets are attached to 20th Special Forces Group. It's the
Wow.
closest Special Forces group to Memphis, Tennessee. So if they were to deploy snipers to
Interesting.
assassinate MLK, they would get snipers from the 20th Special Forces Group.
Okay.
They were looking into him they were tracking him because they knew he had a family and kids, but he was also, I guess, talking to other women. And I don't know if you've seen that FBI letter they sent to him.
Yeah, it was a
said-
nasty letter.
They said, like, we've been monitoring you, and we've been monitoring all the girls that have been coming in and out of your motel room. You have a family. We're going to blow you up if you don't stop. Or
Didn't they tell him to kill
yeah, and at
himself?
the end, they're like, or kill yourself.
That's
wild.
crazy.
So they've been doing it forever. You know, this is normal. And it's just crazy that everybody's talking about Epstein and underage things, but it's like the deep state doesn't want you to know that he was actually doing this to cover for anti-graft. Then that's the
We
highest
wouldn't have known this
classified.
was connected. This is kind of a new angle.
It is a new
People
angle.
have not been talking about this angle
That's
yet.
what I'm trying
so
to say.
What evidence kind of came out that made these connections like start to make sense? What is it? something
Jesse
to do with the
Michaels.
files? Or
Jesse Michaels started talking about it.
Okay.
And then he made the Lawrence Krauss connection. Then I did a cursory Google search, and this motherfucker was holding a shitload of symposiums inviting the top astrophysicists for Epstein directly in the Bahamas, where the Epstein Island is. He actually held a couple symposiums on Epstein Island.
Okay, so that's obvious. That's very direct.
Yeah, and then no, it wasn't her. It was Epstein's assistant. She was a citizen in Epstein's sovereign nation, Terramar. Epstein and Ghislaine had a sovereign nation called Terramar where they could have their own laws and shit, and it was a logistics nation, and it was based in the Bahamas, and it was a shipping containers.
Oh,
That's all they would
yeah.
do, huge shipping
That's
ships
funny.
with shipping
And-
containers, and they would go to Antarctica. One of their main trips was to go to Antarctica and shit.
Y'all,
Why were they
y'all need
going
to
to
watch the new
Antarctica?
Superman movie because there's some conspiracy level things in here. So
Really?
Lex Luthor in this, he's like,
Oh.
there's this conspiracy, and there's like a country involved that Lex is
Okay.
trying to like own. I'm not gonna say too much and spoil
Yeah,
it.
don't spoil
but there's
it.
also a freaking Superman has an Antarctica base, a secret Antarctica base.
Of course.
It's lit, dude.
It's so
It's a
sick.
sick movie.
Okay,
And
okay.
We got that new Fantastic Four out too. I want.
Oh yeah, dude. Maybe we
about
might
to
go,
watch
maybe
that,
we
yeah.
might should go see one tonight.
yeah.
That'd be sick.
Hmm.
Fucking live stream in the
I
movie.
I love superhero movies, but the crazy thing is, the more movies I watch, I realize, oh, they're like pulling.
They're revealing.
Sometimes they're pulling real stories from like the craziest lore. You know, when it comes to
Yes.
UFOs,
Yeah.
like
Yes. They have good
it's-
writers. They do
all
their
the
research.
good writers pull like
Of course.
real
Like,
stories,
somewhat real,
and then
exactly.
they
Where do
synthesize
they get these
it.
ideas from?
Even even like as I'm watching this movie, I'm like, oh my god, Superman is a star seed.
Mm.
He's like he's in this case he was sent to this planet, you know, as a baby.
Okay.
He doesn't incarnate as a soul, but his actual body, and
As a
that's why he
baby.
has
Yeah,
superpowers.
but that's a good conceptual
Yeah, yeah,
mythology
yeah.
or like
And you-
story to get them
Right. You
introduced.
you see the mission statement of Superman in this
So he
new
brought
movie
as a baby. Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
sort of brought here as a baby, but he's raised by a human family.
Yep. Okay.
So the ideals from his home planet, he doesn't really have that because he wasn't raised with it.
Mhm.
But he has his own concept or like hopeful vision.
Different genetics.
Yeah.
Like
But
Adam and Eve's
there's a
kids.
crazy twist in that movie
Oh,
that like
fuck me. All right.
that you'll watch, you
Well-
know, and it has to do with like what did his parents want him to do on Earth versus what he, you know, thought he was sent there to do.
Mhm.
And it's a really interesting angle that
Okay.
really flipped the script.
Well, Taylor, you're talking about this soft core disclosure in a way, whether it's deliberate or not. it's
Superman is
just
real.
Writers, Superman is real.
In the
just so
Epstein
you know.
files.
Whether it's deliberate or not, and it's just writers taking creative liberties and reading the coolest conspiracies they can find or not. Going back to the X-Files, I just saw an episode last night. It was these genetic experiments called the Litchfield experiments, where
Okay.
supposedly in the 50s, the Russians were trying to create a super soldier. They were doing experiments on people. The U.S., of course, got wind of this, so they're like, we're going to do it better.
Of
So
course.
they start doing these experiments. Apparently, these people had, what was it, like 56 chromosomes or something? It was something outrageous.
Really?
Apparently.
Apparently.
And in the X-Files, they're called the Adams and the Eves, and they're all clones. And there's these two little girls. I don't want to spoil the plot. Y'all got to see it. But these they end up kind of finding out that this program had gone horribly wrong because these people had super strength, extremely high IQs, but they were also extremely psychotic and murderous. But that's kind of something that actually happened in a way, but it was portrayed in this episode as a sci-fi thing. And in this episode, it was all these genetic experiments being done by this doctor. She was actually one of the clones that kind of got a little older.
Okay.
And then she was arrested for doing these sick
You're
genetic cloning
You're
experiments.
spoiling the fucking X-Files, dude.
Whatever, it was aired in the 90s, but y'all
I was
should
about to
see
say
it
it's been
anyway.
out for 20 years.
Dude,
Not 30
here's
years.
a film that y'all need to watch. Steven Spielberg made like I think it's a 6
Close
or 8
Encounters?
part series. No, it's a 6 or 8 part TV series. They're like an hour long each. Oh, what is it called? I gotta look it up. I bought the DVDs because you can't
I
find
might
it anywhere.
I might know what you're talking
But
about.
it like it
What was
walks you through because he wanted. It's like okay, Steven obviously has some great alien movies, but like this series allows him to tell like the full story, and it starts at Roswell. But it's weird. It gets in.
He has
It,
an alien
it follows.
documentary?
What's that?
He's like an alien series
It's an
documentary.
alien series. It's a drama series.
Okay.
But it's like it follows like Roswell being like the starting point for aliens on Earth, and then it ends up following these people across different years, these main characters across different years who end up like become part of the Grey's hybrid program. They like get them to like mate, and then there's like this psychic kid that comes out of it.
Oh, of course.
Where I'm basically saying that it implements every element to the UFO phenomenon,
In
from the
shit.
government conspiracy
Oh, wow.
level to
And
the
it's made by
the crash
Spielberg.
retrieval. Yeah, and it's done by Spielberg,
Oh, that's
and it's almost like a
catchy.
magnum opus of like the whole context.
What's he trying to say?
Yeah. Obviously he's like super deep, and
So that brings me.
Taken?
yes, Taken.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I know exactly. I haven't watched it yet.
2002, one season.
I haven't watched it yet, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I
Yeah,
remember when it
yeah.
came out. That was a big deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow, it's crazy. And now you're bringing me to the craziness. I got 2 points in my mind, but I want to finish up the Epstein. His second favorite thing besides anti-grav was eugenics, but also for the conversation, space relations.
Okay.
I want to bring that there.
That's creepy.
So and how
Yeah.
people use fiction to tell real stories. So
Got it.
Steven Spielberg could have been doing that with Taken, using this fiction to tell a true story, but he had to make it fictionized.
Yeah.
Space relations, same fucking thing. We'll get into that in a second. Because space relations was written by a guy who was connected to Epstein. But Epstein's second favorite thing, other than anti-grav and the Casimir effect, or the Kashmir effect, as Matt wants to say, eugenics.
Okay.
And
So
we know-
what was he trying to do with that?
We know John Ramirez just went on Area 52. He's doing the podcast rounds, and he's talking about the thing. So nukes, everybody thought was the most classified thing in the world. Nukes. But now there's a higher classification than nukes. It's alien craft in the crash retrieval programs. And we're like, oh, there's nothing more secret than that. John Ramirez goes on to reveal that there is something even more secret than that. It's the fact that the CIA is tracking human alien hybrids, tracking people who have the most celestial DNA, and that we're all alien hybrids, that in our far past we were mated with, and that we're all offspring of that. So
It's
that
like
sounds
the biggest secret.
that sounds exactly like
The
the
Urantia
Urantia
book,
book,
pretty much.
literally the Urantia book. Because we know it's real. The CIA, if we know the Urantia book as good as we know, the CIA knows it twice as good as us, and they're taking it for real. So obviously they're taking this seriously, and they're trying to track. I'm not going to go into it, but 23andMe has some sketchy fucking starts and ends. And that's the way how the CIA would track the genetics of the people
Right.
through 23andMe.
Through a voluntary service that everyone wants to engage in.
There you go.
I want to know about my family
Good
history.
marketing.
Supposedly,
Yeah.
the money that was started it was from the CIA, and they promised not to sell the DNA to any private
Okay.
company, and
Yeah,
now
they
they're
did.
going defunct, and they're sold all the DNA bank to a
Mhm.
private company, and they won't reveal who this company
Oh
is.
my god.
Mhm.
So if you were to track celestial DNA, how would you do it? perfect, right? 23andMe, whatever. The CIA will go to great lengths to get their mission accomplished. So now we make the connection with Jeffrey Epstein. His main thing was like anti-grav and eugenics. Like you bring it to your Zorro ranch. He literally had said, and it has it written, that he wanted to upstep human DNA with his genetics, and he wanted to impregnate like 20 women a day or a month at this ranch and have like a
Something
baby
crazy,
making factory, dude.
He thought he was like a perfect specimen, apparently.
That's
Classic.
Yeah.
classic. What is it? Narcissism.
Yeah, no kidding.
So that is also, I don't want to get into it, but Celestials mated with us in the past in order to get their DNA into us as much as they could. And it seems like he's trying to emulate that in some weird way, but he's not a Celestial. So his connections with anti-grav, eugenics, and then tying it to this alien hybrid program. Did somebody, I was trying to lead that to what somebody said. Did somebody say anything else? Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you. Adjuster.
Yeah, your
Not
adjuster's got you.
Yeah. So, and then I wanted to bring it to the part B where people hide stories in fiction. You're using Taken as an example by Steven Spielberg. Well, this guy who's connected with Jeffrey Epstein wrote a book. He was like the director of what? The director of like some
space relations.
Yeah. He was the director of some Department of Defense space agency, I think. And then he wrote a book called Space Relations. And it was all about intergalactic human trafficking of sex slaves.
Yeah. Apparently, the majority of the book takes place through the main character being brought into this like child trafficking galactic network from these galactic elites. And apparently the book goes into uncomfortable detail for much of the book of just what happens to these sex slaves. It's like, are you kidding me? I'm gonna try to look up right now who wrote it. Oh, Donald Barr.
Yeah, Donald Barr. Oh, Donald Barr is the guy who hired Robert Maxwell into that school to become a teacher.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really weird connection.
Yeah, like, and Epstein's all about
fantasizing
trafficking.
about this anyway, you know.
Epstein's all about trafficking underage and getting sex slaves, and then he writes a Space Relations about that, but it's on an intergalactic level, like.
Which, okay, we already know organized crime exists. We already know human trafficking exists.
Oh, yeah.
It's no uncomfortable truth, but it exists. We know cartels exist, gangsters exist, the mafia exists. So couldn't we extrapolate, if you had a true psychopath like Ghislaine Maxwell, clinical psychopath, doesn't feel empathy for others, Epstein, psychopath, narcissist, it's all about them, they're the center of the universe, they'll do whatever they can to increase their power and influence. Couldn't we speculate that the ultimate criminal would sneak in the back door of government where all our taxes are going into, sneak in the back door of politicians, scientists, pharmaceuticals, where all the money is going, and organized crime, bridge the two worlds. It's basically a backdoor for organized crime to reach in through the top of our greatest institutions.
Yep, 100%. Amen. And I know it sounds scary, but it could be some nugget of truth in there, or it is the truth, one of the two. Me and Taylor were talking about it last night, like, how fucking crazy is this Space Relations book? There's UFO contact from planet
Yarga?
No.
Oh, you're talking about the planet Gok.
Planet Gok.
Planet Gok,
Yeah.
Mysterious Universe talks about it.
Yeah.
You and Drew and I listened to that episode, and this guy just gets like from China, right? A farmer from China.
He was like 20 years old in China, and he got abducted by these ETs, but they essentially sort of take him to their own star system. They don't like erase his memories or anything, and their goal is to give him experiences on their planet so that they can then scan his consciousness and recreate a digital version that they sell on their highly virtualized network all over the planet. But what's crazy about this is that one of the most popular things on their planet is the sexual experiences of other species. And so what they're trying to do is create this sort of like, they give him all these weird experiences on this alien planet, and then because he experienced, it's like that data goes through into him, into his memory, into his brain as well. It gets encoded, and then they know how to sort of decode it and pull that experience out and virtualize it in like a highly like they're capturing a lot of data.
Yeah,
And so
all the
then the
sensory
people on
input.
their planet can actually relive that experience
Yeah.
through that
But in order to get that digital experience, they need to
they want real
they
experience.
need
And
to run a train on them.
on
right?
this planet they say they're like people don't like the fake generated stuff. Like
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering about.
the most performing content on this network
That's
is always
crazy.
data taken from real experiences from real beings.
When was this written?
This is
Space
kind of
Relations?
recent.
Oh, no,
this Planet Gok book.
Gok.
This is kind of recent. Honestly,
So they
it's-
take him to this
yeah, it's
planet
the most
and
interesting
they rape
abduction
him
book.
over and over and over again. They run trains on him and they scan him while it's happening to upload it to their digital server.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that's what poor people do in that society. Rich people
Mm.
want the real fucking thing. They want real humans, you know? And when if they're an alien and a human shows up, they don't care if the human got sex trafficked from birth. To them, it's just a human. And
Yeah.
they fucking did it with them. And now they can brag to their friends, you know? And that sound like we talk about it all the time, and we don't go this dark, but we talk about the Lucifer
this is
rebellion,
really gnarly. We can try and give some extra context to why this is happening
or possible
and that,
theories.
And at the end of the day, I would say this is not the majority of the universe.
No,
but
no,
this is a very weird extrapolation from Earth. Think of all the trafficking and awful things here on Earth.
Yeah,
And a vein of it seems to go into the cosmos. To some level, and we have a story that we talk a lot about on this channel that explains our section of the cosmos is sort of part of a rebellious zone. Some people call it the Orion Wars in the alien community. Some war started in Orion. The higher up story that goes into why these Orion Wars happened and what this rebellion was about, it actually goes all the way up to, you could say, the cosmic government, meaning interdimensional Elohim,
Super
what we might
beings.
call angels, and they're normally meant to sort of oversee these planetary systems.
Yeah, like greater cosmos administration.
And when they go bad, it basically becomes a free for all.
Yeah, it turns into a sandbox.
That is the reason that we're primarily seeing these really dark strains.
Yep. That's a good point. That's some good context. Yeah, exactly. It turns into a sandbox. Like we talk about it all the time on the channel. We have the Lucifer Rebellion video up there, so go check it out. Pretty much is a greater cosmos government, the United Federation of Planets, the Galactic Federation, and Jesus is the leader, and he puts angels in charge of certain sectors, and the angel that was in charge of our sector was named Lucifer, and Lucifer rebelled. He went against the greater cosmos, turning our sector of the cosmos into a sandbox where people could kind of indulge in whatever they wanted to. And if they could develop or advance to the point where they could develop interstellar spacecraft, they could do whatever the fuck they want and go to other planets, and there's no rules.
So do what thou wilt.
Do what thou wilt. Exactly. Aleister Crowley type shit. And then if this is possible, then these beings aren't spiritually inclined. It's like picture our Illuminati elite, like they're over here pedophiling and shit like that, but on a cosmic scale.
You know what?
And now their number one thing is
offering it to other rebellion planets, like, hey,
exactly,
we got a crazy op here on Earth. Can we loop you in?
Exactly.
Well,
the 37 rebellion planets have like an intergalactic sex trafficking ring, and our elites made contact with with one of those races.
Well, consider this: we would be, as like, according to the Urantia book, the serial number for our world is 606. So there are many others that came behind us, but we would be probably the youngest or one of the youngest worlds in this. We were like a primitive race still developing, just out of the Stone Age when the Lucifer Rebellion happened to us. But to these other worlds, what if there were like highly advanced civilizations?
So we're a good resource.
Or most of them are highly advanced civilizations that got affected by the Lucifer Rebellion. And I mean, that Planet Grok, I would say that's a hell of a fan fiction, but the idea of having virtual experiences that you can just plug in your consciousness to, I could see, with the direction that AI is developing and all that, within like 30 years, 100 years from now, we'll probably...
Yeah, well, Neuralink is the gateway to beaming experiences directly into the brain instead of like current VR, you're wearing goggles and it's piping light into your eyes. Well, Neuralink can pipe light and images directly into your brain.
Yeah.
That's like the end goal. And then eventually you can do this wirelessly without an implant.
Yeah.
And that's like it still could be a headset, but it's actually beaming the information directly into your brain
That's how the keys talk about it. Like magnetic sphere is able to like just beam directly bypassing the retina into your brain image.
Think about the homunculus. When we were reading this the CIA analysis of gateway process, and there's that weird illustration with all the body parts on the brain.
Yeah.
You got the homunculus, you got like a section of your brain for your tongue, and a section for your hands, your fingertips, and a section for your nose, and each sensation we feel is registered in the brain. So if you could artificially stimulate and excite every little section of the brain through like a very deliberate array through code and
EM field,
program something.
All you need is what you need is a map, and that is what the current companies are doing. They map the brain. They, you sit there with the EEG, whatever sensors.
Yep.
They do stuff, and then they watch the brain to map how does the response look.
Yep.
And then once they know, they reverse it and they pump those electrical signals back in when you're not doing the activity. And then it's like, can we simulate in their mind those same like internal reactions that they had when they were doing the activity? And once you create the map, it's like a two-way data sync where you're not just reading activity data from the brain, you can write.
That's kind of scary. And that kind of comes, I mean, it's just stimulating the thought. I want to get back to the intergalactic sex trafficking rings, but the AMCC, the anterior mid-cingulate cortex, that part of your brain, you have like a chamber in your brain that grows when you do hard things, when you do hardship. Okay. And literally, if you don't put yourself through hard tasks and hard lessons, it's atrophied. It's tiny. And people with tiny atrophied AMCCs, anterior mid-cingulate cortexes, they're irritable. They fly off the Richters really quickly.
Shit.
They get pissed when you tell them to do shit because they have never done hard things.
They haven't exercised it. Their AMCC is weak.
Exactly. And when I read it by myself, the part 1 for the evolution, the extraterrestrial theory of evolution, it says that the life carriers they steered the human race into like the Arctic cold climate because it would stimulate a robust type of human being. So it seems like they were trying to stimulate to a sturdy AMCC, an anterior mid-cingulate cortex.
Know what?
And they said it was for survival capability. So I wonder if physical survival down here somewhat translates into like a sturdier survival candidate up there.
All right, I got to tell a little story going on a tangent of what you're talking about. So one time, this was about a year ago, we got some Amanita mushroom gummies from a smoke shop, and we wanted to try them out.
Okay.
And we thought it was going to be nothing, it's just probably like some like healthy mushroom gummies or something.
Yeah,
what's going to happen?
Pseudo or placebo.
Yeah, we weren't expecting much. So we're cooking out in the backyard, and they start kicking in while I'm cooking a whole bunch of meat on the grill. And all of a sudden, it's like a full-on, like, you're feeling this trippy mushroom feeling. You do not have an appetite. And I got all this meat cooking in front of me, and then I'm like, sitting there outside, and I'm like, I'm not hungry. And I'm waiting on it to cook slowly. I'm cooking it as slowly as possible to milk it. And I kind of had this kind of revelation in that process of thinking, like, why do I need to eat when I'm so uncomfortable with the thought of eating? And why do we have to eat meat? Why do we have to eat other animals? Why do animals eat each other? And then I thought, the very implantation of life on a world, hunger is a very important indicator, and there's a reason for it, because otherwise those little protoplasms, those cells, would be stationary. They wouldn't have any incentive to move around, but you give them hunger, now they're seeking each other out. There's this whole process of genetic mutation and improvement and evolution and adaptation that happens, and it occurs as a result of hunger reproductive
pressure.
Need, because you have a time limit. You're going to die. You're not an eternal protoplasm, so you got to reproduce. So you encourage that genetic mutation. And so it seems like every challenge on our world that we face, all the hellish circumstances we're born under in nature, where we got to fight to survive and all this, it's actually encouraging and stimulating that, what do you call it?
Like a robust...
ACC?
Oh, the AMCC?
AMCC. It's encouraging that drive to take on challenge.
Yep.
And it would make sense why the angels would seed life, even though we can't understand. It seems like this is unfair. Why would you put us in this harsh world? They're trying to develop life on a world. They got all the patience in the world. They can take millions of years if they need to develop these highly robust beings that are intelligent, aggressively curious, and crave challenge. Feast on disappointment,
Yeah. And yeah, that's it. I mean, you pretty much said it right there.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. All of our greatest trials are here for a reason. You know what?
And you can like take that from a cellular level and just bring it to the human level. Why do we say, like, are you hungry for something? No, you got to stay hungry, be hungry, in order to
One of these. Urantia books over here.
Which ones? Oh,
I think I got
oh, they're over
one.
there.
Over here. Got it. Grab this. We weren't gonna read today, but I gotta pull something up.
But yeah, what I was saying was yeah, we say it in like normal human terminology. Are you hungry? You know, you gotta stay hungry in order to get forward in the rat race. You know.
That's right.
And that hunger drive, it almost seems like that's the first drive stimulus, right? To get you moving in time and space. Man,
if you want success, you got to be hungry.
You got to be hungry for it. And like ancient man, like the Urantia book talks about that, their entire focus is food. They roamed the planet only looking for food. Like the first human beings, there was nothing else in life. You needed to find food to keep you hungry. And guess what? If you didn't find food, you died. You know? And they wanted to make that the foundation, the hunger urge to be the foundational reality. Then over time, it translates to hunger for money, hunger for spirit, hunger for...
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense more. Like the purpose of evolution, the time-space evolution process is for us to, I guess, transmute the physical hungers into the spiritual, mental journey.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I got some here. We weren't going to read, but I decided to pull up this little quote here.
He had it memorized. Look at him.
This is one of my favorite little sections of the Urantia book because it answers so much. The uncertainties of life and the vicissitudes of existence do not in any manner contradict the concept of the universal sovereignty of God. All evolutionary creature life is beset by certain inevitabilities. Consider the following.
The inevitabilities.
Is courage, strength of character desirable? Then must man be reared in an environment which necessitates grappling with hardships and reacting to disappointments. Is altruism, service of one's fellows, desirable? Then must life experience provide for encountering situations of social inequality. Is hope, the grandeur of trust, desirable? Then human existence must constantly be confronted with insecurities and recurrent uncertainties. Is faith, the supreme assertion of human thought, desirable? Then must the mind of man find itself in that troublesome predicament where it ever knows less than it can believe. Is the love of truth and the willingness to go wherever it leads desirable? Then must man grow up in a world where error is present and falsehood always possible. Is idealism, the approaching concept of the divine, desirable? Then must man struggle in an environment of relative goodness and beauty, surrounding stimulative of the irrepressible reach for better things. Is loyalty, devotion to highest duty, desirable? Then must man carry on amid the possibilities of betrayal and desertion. The valor of devotion to duty consists in the implied danger of default. Is unselfishness, the spirit of self-forgetfulness, desirable? Then must mortal man live face to face with the incessant clamoring of an inescapable self for recognition and honor. Man could not dynamically choose the divine life if there were no self-life to forsake. Man could never lay saving hold on righteousness if there were no potential evil to exalt and differentiate the good. By contrast, is pleasure, the satisfaction of happiness, desirable? Then must man live in a world where the alternative of pain and the likelihood of suffering are ever-present experiential possibilities.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. So they're like measuring based off what qualities they want, and they need to kind of dip into the opposite in order to stimulate that in an evolutionary species.
Yeah.
It's kind of gnarly. So I guess they learned this concept over billions of years of cosmic evolution. They figured out if we just made it easy for everybody, we don't really... The soul's probably just there.
They just stagnate. They don't even progress.
Like, okay, we're alive. Yeah, you need to put them in hardship. That's pretty gnarly. Now, you Luciferians out there and you left-hand path people, don't take that. Don't run with that, you know?
Yeah, right. We
trying to make it work. Trying to make it worse conditions for everyone so that it's a catalyst.
Yeah, right. Freaking satanic acceleration.
No, thank you. Worse. How long have we been going for the live? Because I'm hungry.
2.5 hours, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
All right. I got a closing thought for us to kind of wrap up with.
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts on this. What can we do about it? We know the world sucks. We know there's satanic elites out there infiltrating government and all that.
Amen.
Now, I was kind of talking with Taylor about this earlier, and D-Bake, we were kind of coming to this realization recently. I recently learned this. I never really understood what is the difference between communism and fascism. But apparently in World War II, Hitler hated the communists. And I always wonder, like, aren't they kind of the same thing? But Hitler got corporate funding from, like, Prescott Bush and from
A lot of
Henry Ford, unfortunately, and like a lot of these people, before they were Nazis,
Bayer.
no one knew how evil it was going to turn out. They're like, oh wow, they're really doing something probably, so they're funding them, and so it was this whole idea of replacing government basically with this kind of corrupt corporate control where you're just getting money, money, money. It's all about the money. Likewise, the communists see the state basically is controlling everything. They saw the corrupt elites as the corporate aristocrats or whatever. And so as this has evolved into the modern day, you can kind of connect the Democrats to communism and the Republicans to fascism. Obviously, it's not so extreme. It's a lot more balanced and watered down today, but that dichotomy still kind of exists. And it seems like no matter what happens, when the government has total control, everything sucks. And when corporations have total control, everything sucks. So what are we to do about it? Like, we can learn about the Epstein files and all that, and we can get stressed out about things we have no control over. But unless you're in Congress or you're one of the elites or you're working for the FBI or something like that, what can we really do about it other than kind of talk about it and raise awareness? And I know people fall into this. Taylor, you've talked about this. Like, when you get a little too conspiracy minded, you end up in a mentally unhealthy headspace where you kind of start getting schizophrenic and paranoid about doom and gloom all over the place. Is the world going to end?
I think that the primary problem is that for a human to get lost in the sauce of things that they can't directly change is so debilitating.
Oh yeah.
That
QAnon.
It can really it totally takes away all your time, will, and power
Agency,
into
everything.
Injecting something different into the world at the influence that you can do. So look, you can't there was this phrase that was taught to me that really sticks with me, is like, you can't help everybody, but today you can help one person. And if you think like that, then you start injecting, and you don't take on some responsibility like you need to save the world. It's not about saving the world. It's about individualizing yourself, your spiritual journey, asking questions that go beyond just what the mainstream is teaching you. Yes, like that is part of truth seeking, sort of breaking reality and realizing that it's not operating by or our reality here on Earth, at least, is not operating by the cosmic harmony that should exist.
Yep.
But once you recognize that, you should spend all your time figuring out how you're actually going to change the game, because like I said, you can find yourself in a debilitated state. Just focusing on how bad the world is. I honestly, I don't even dive very deep into the Epstein stuff because I already know it's so whack. Like you give me the 5-minute summary and I'm like, yeah, I believe that's happening, and I don't know how to change it. Like it's
Exactly.
almost systemic, the way that power, sex, money, drugs lives in this world in this moment. But I do know that, for example, the way we raise our next generation in terms of the social, moral, and spiritual consciousness, that can change it. Yesterday we did a live stream and we read this quote that said, we think in terms of the lifespan of the average human life, and that's sort of our timetable for like how fast things should change. But when you're talking about millions, billions of people on the planet in these country zones, things do not move so fast that you see massive systemic changes. Like you'll be lucky if you see that in your lifetime. That stuff moves over deep generations, generational changes. And so you go, I don't want to wait that long to see results. Okay, you don't have to. You do not have to wait that long to see results. But the results that you see are not going to be mass like mainstream changes. But what you implement, what we're implementing here on this channel, Planetary HQ Mind Body Spirit Program, when you implement that in your own life, and then people start to see that you're on some new shit, and that you're doing something, you're inspiring, that energy, that aura is 10x'd. They want to get involved, and then you give them the opportunity. You
create that Casimir effect.
Yeah, and once you're doing that, you feel like you're changing the world.
Yeah, straight up. Yep. You create that.
Focus on that.
That first motion that creates the momentum for other people. Yeah, that's a good answer. Fucking to give my 2 cents on your question. It's exactly what we were talking about in the past couple of days. I talk about anti-grav. It's like everybody wants to know about the UFOs. We all want the anti-grav. We all want it. We all want it. We want it. The deep state's lying. They have alien reproduction videos and vehicles, and they have all this shit that can change the world. And what? Give it to us. Give it to us. They're preventing us from entering the Galactic Federation because they're so greedy. And I'm over here like, hey, dog. From the Angels' point of view, they're like, y'all want to travel the stars, but you ain't even got your planet right.
Yeah.
Part of admission into the Galactic Federation is to first get your sphere together. Your sphere is the practice sphere. And if you can pass that test and get your planet right, then we allow you to travel the stars. So that's my one point. Then my second point is anti-gravity. You guys want anti-gravity? Do you guys see the way you guys act? Look at social media right now. We're all pieces of shit. Somebody would use it to start killing everybody. We all have like, the Trumpers, we're just going to use anti-grav to wipe out the Trumpers. You know, the Trump people are going to use it anti-grav to wipe out the gays. Like, are we ready for anti-grav? We want anti-grav, but are we truly ready? You know, no, we're not. So I understand that everybody's so pissed and you want to point fingers. But again, that is, what's that? That's victim consciousness. Yes. When you're pointing your finger. How about to point the finger back at the self? Yes. How about this? Thank you. Maybe if we all raise our mind, body, spirit complexes as high as they can go, A, they'll be like, okay, your planet's in line. Now you can enter the Galactic Federation. And B, they'll be like, okay, now they're ready for anti-grav. Okay. So you guys all want to complain. The quicker we hit our mind, body, spirit progress, the quicker we get anti-grav, the quicker we get Galactic Federation status. So if that's your question was, what can we do about it? That's what we can fucking do about it. You can hit your potential mentally, physically, and spiritually and stop doom scrolling like a QAnon tinfoil hat ass and being like, they're doing it. Turn that shit off and say, today I'm going to chart my day, my week, my month about mind, body, spirit progress. And by me doing it, I am going to have faith that everybody else is doing it. And we all do it together. And then we get anti-grav. So that's my answer to your question. That's my words of power to end it off. Yep. If you guys want to give them anything else.
Yeah, my kind of final thoughts on this is something I want to say is I've noticed a pattern nowadays, and I know y'all probably noticed this too, is that I believe this started in the early 1900s as we began to urbanify, you know, getting these big urban settings. Mars. It was more of a habit to well, really leading up to the First World War, we started wanting to build states, but states are kind of, in a way, made out of strangers when you think about it, because you got more people living in apartments, more single people going off, going to work and all that, and they can serve the state, especially in the early days, World War I, World War II, where you serve the state. So you have to be an individual, you know, you're like a soldier or something. But like prior to that, the world was a little more tribal. It was a lot of families, and I've read there's actually a correlation between a location having predominantly like very tight-knit families and a very tribal attitude. So in a way, it was a step of evolution for us all to become strangers to one another. But nowadays, we're kind of at this peak where we're all strangers. I walk into my neighborhood, I don't know a single one of my neighbors. We all kind of squirm off into our houses, keep to ourselves, you know. And I'm kind of jealous. When I was driving around the country, I just got back from this big 2-week road trip out west. Hitting up Utah, New Mexico, Arizona, Nevada. I noticed there's certain little Goldilocks zone communities where everyone's happy. You go into a store and you're like, why are you so happy? Now, driving through the Navajo Nation, obviously the Navajo Nation is riddled with its own problems, financially and all that. But when I was in Monument Valley, it was so incredibly beautiful. It seems like everyone at Monument Valley knows each other. We got to stay in this B&B at Teardrop Arch with this lady, Eileen, who lives there on the reservation. Beautiful spot. And it seems like just talking to her and picking her brain about the culture there, everyone kind of knows each other. You got like the elders of the community. They know all the grandkids. Everyone gets together. One night, I'm laying out looking at the stars. I got the best view of the Milky Way I ever had. And you can actually hear downhill a little this community center kicking off late in the night. They're playing like Native American pop music, but they're all partying. They got all their kids together and stuff, and it was great. And it makes me realize like that is important to have local community, for families to come together, and for us to like actually know each other. I think that's why people are such assholes in traffic, is because you're kind of anonymous in a way when you're driving in a car, to cut people off and all that. And when everyone's a stranger, everyone's an asshole. So through mind, body, spirit progress, I think we can actually learn to just treat each other like family. And I believe as long as we're depending on the government, or we're depending on corporations or any major institution to wipe our booties for us, it's really passing the buck, because it's easier to blame someone else for all our problems. But like you said, when you turn that blame back onto ourselves, what am I doing to try to make the world a better place?
Yep.
It's really all there is to it. It's just being a better person to those in your social network that you interact with, that you know. Ideally, we can rely more and more on ourselves and less on major institutions to take care of us. But I think that's the solution.
Yeah, and something that you said there, I want to add to it is like, yes, start in the social groups around you, but also once you sort of get used to introducing yourself to new people, to making other strangers feel comfortable interacting with you and spreading that sort of sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, like the ability to turn a stranger into a friend, or at least a mutual acquaintance in the least amount of time, by sort of dropping the BS, the surface level conversation that we get into all the time. Like, that's a skill set, and that's really also your personality vibrating past all the distortions that sort of get ingrained in us and how we interact with people. So like, work on that, and then as you're interacting with your local social group, you can start to expand and bring people in from the outside, or you go into other groups and you create connective tissue where you're not necessarily creating some sort of group where now they're all under you and doing the things that you want to do. It's like creating connections and opportunities, and you go into these groups expecting that these people have some new energy, they have some things to show you. It's not just I want to show you something.
It's like peers,
you just
equal.
Bring your most honest, sincere, open energy, with also that that sharp mindset, because you're not out here trying to get played in the world, but you also don't come up expecting people to screw you over. It's a weird balance. You got your shit together, and that means you can sort of offer out hands to be shaking hands with other people and making connections, and yeah, your social life will change as you develop that sort of skill set, and that. And this is it's a spiritual value, I would say, but in action, it involves a lot of material skills or social skills. But again, the purpose is not so that you can weave your way into society and get power. It's that you're fluid, that you actually feel comfortable among society, that you feel like you belong on the planet, that you feel like you have a chance to change things, that you're not just caught up in that top level overview about the elite control everything, so I can't do anything. It's like, no, it's just it's a numbers game. Like, the people themselves are mostly sincere. This is the way I see it.
I agree.
There's a small percentage where like the normies, when they rise in power, they get the offer. You could say, the devil puts out the hand, like, you want to join the dark side, I can give you some interesting experiences. That, and now that's like maybe at the top, like that's maybe the top level, but that's always accessible with power. Is like the forbidden, the taboo experiences come with power. And so what I'm tying this into is that, the normal people, grassroots, they're not really of that world. Although, maybe we all get the offers at different points where we kind of indulge ourselves. But at the end of the day, I think that the baseline for humanity generally wants to like be able to take care of their family, simple stuff. But we have to come together. I don't know, bring, like, on this channel, we're trying to like bring this concept of cosmic citizenship down to earth. Use this sort of star concept and use it to enhance our entire interactions on earth. And part of that is because like all the social, religious, ideological systems here are like, they're so relative, meaning that we basically make them up as we go, and every generation like changes the rules and makes something new acceptable. What wasn't acceptable in the last generation, it's now acceptable this. we're not using cosmic concepts down here. That's what we're doing here. We realize that there are cosmic concept, cosmic truth in the universe. And that's why all the books we read have these weird authors that are like, we're from space, we're celestials. So
here's what we believe.
That's why we're reading it.
Yeah, 1,000%. You said it great. You guys both did. And power dynamics. You know, if you guys are operating from distorted power dynamics to infiltrate groups just so that you can gain material gain to prey on your fellow man so that you can gain a step ahead, that's incorrect. And that's what you're trying to highlight right now, that it's a equal peer-to-peer exchange of information data with no ego, and that we can both grow from it. And that's a natural state that we need to start getting into. Most people, when they go into a situation, they automatically try to either assert themselves as like the master and you're the slave, or the opposite dynamic. It's this weird master-slave dichotomy that needs to stop. We're trying to cultivate that at Planetary HQ. We're just trying to cultivate 1 billion Renaissance men, and they all have great ideas. You can do one thing a bunch of different ways, and it all looks beautiful when you put them side by side. So that's what we're trying to do, to create peers. And one thing we need to do to get past this Stranger Things. It's a good show, I guess. We're all on planet Earth together. Like, it's weird that we have this energy where we consider people strangers. It's like, I think it's weird that we think it's weird to talk to each other in public.
We're team human.
Like, last time I checked, we're on Earth here together to figure out these problems together. So if I'm just out in a random spot and I don't know you, I'm going to talk to you like I know you. But I do that to people, and they pick up on it. They're like, what's up with this guy? Why is he just talking to me like he knows me? Because like, we're on Earth together, dog, and you're a human, I'm a human. Let's figure it out. All those weird human pretense that we have, like, ew, don't talk to me. Don't you know I'm in a Starbucks line? We don't talk to people when we're in Starbucks lines. Don't you? Like, it's fucking just so weird. So hopefully we can get over that energy. And I'm hungry as shit, so let's go eat something and get out of here.
Let's call it.
Yeah, let's call it. Be the best person you can be. Go write yourself a Keys of Enoch or Urantia book rap. We do got some swag. We got some shirts. We didn't do the commercials, but we'll do it in the next one. Go get yourself a shirt because you support the Planetary HQ, and we're trying to get that Mind Body Spirit app on everybody's phone so that you can actually grow with your peers in your town, and you can multiply that growth. We're trying to create a new social media where you're not just upvoting based on ass and Ferraris. You get upvoted based on your Mind Body Spirit progress, and that you could do it with other people. So coming at you soon.
Run the ad.
You want?
Yeah. For the outro.
I'll say some
there we go. What's up?
I'll say some words of power.
We just did the words of power. Jesus,
power.
we're just doing circles. We're doing 30 more minutes of words of power. All right.
Toss it to the ad.
All right. What you got? No, you got 2 minutes. What's up?
All right. I'll just say Jocko Willink's extreme ownership is that the best leader takes responsibility for the malfunctions of his subordinates. So to get rid of that slave-master dichotomy, we all take ownership and responsibility. We aren't strangers when we build a community and we're all on the same page. That's what's beautiful about the conferences we go to, like the Urantia conference coming up. I see a future where we actually have eco-villages. We build our own structures. We grow our own food. And to get to that world, you can support the mission at Planetary HQ. Get yourself a shirt. We will make the world a better place.
Damn, bro. I hear some static coming in. I need your attention, everybody. This just in. The New Jersey drones are now over New York, LA, and every major capital on the face of planet Earth. They keep repeating a message over the 6 gigahertz frequency band, and it keeps saying, Planetary HQ has cosmic garments for your physical mechanism. In other words, we got that drip. Straight from the Galactic Federation wardrobe, these tees vibrate at the frequency of chill. Ribbed knit collars lovingly hug your neck chakra, preventing collar droop across dimensions. Tapered shoulders enhance your interstellar silhouette, perfect for Earth missions and beyond. Dual side seams stabilize your style, ensuring your energy stays aligned even when encountering planetary turbulence. Crafted from 100% classified heirloom combed and ring-spun cotton, this featherlight fabric breathes like you're cruising through the astral plane. Ideal for layering beneath your space cloak or relaxing at your Earth base. The tailored retail fit transitions seamlessly from casual earthling mode to I've got crystals in my pocket and I ain't from here chic, making it essential apparel for your rigorous interdimensional journey. So check out them shirts. We got a bunch of different colors. Link is in the description. Your contributions directly support spiritual operations on the front line in the battle for truth, beauty, and righteousness. With your help, we can help change the face of planet Earth, and we can look fly while doing it. Okay, now that we can fund the Black Budget Anti-Grav program, let's get back to the show.